Hello and welcome to Sean Ruins Fitness. I'm here with my friend Dan.
Hello.
And I am the owner of JRT Fit, J Range Training, fellow with the National Board of Fitness Examiners, and we're here to ruin things within the fitness industry that are being taught that I don't feel should be taught, or different gimmicks or different fads or really anything of that sort. And these are our opinions and love
Kind of
for
like a Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, basically, we're busting myths in the fitness
like it.
industry, but we're hopefully ruining some bad ideas. So if someone has a bad idea, we sit there and ruin it.
And you give them some good ideas along the way.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah, you got to have the good to go with that, because otherwise people are like, oh, I can't do this. What do I do?
Just a bad one. We don't have anything else for you.
Exactly. Be
Right.
like, oh, well, just go sit
That's
on the
it.
sofa like we are, and good luck. But no.
It ruins everything.
I don't ruin everything,
Well,
do I?
No, just some things. Just in this area.
And just in this area, which,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't ruin dinner. Actually,
You have been known to ruin dinners. Yes.
oh, you're right.
You've burned a few.
I actually have someone I want to bring on as a guest. Where
Your kids?
No, but she is a kid, and I did ruin her dinner once. It's really kind of a fun story.
When
But
that happens.
yeah, that'd be kind of fun to have her on. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I guess I do ruin that sometimes. That's all right.
He's a good guy.
I don't attempt to. Well, thank you. That's very nice of you. So, what we're going to talk about today, what I want to ruin today. Oh, and before I say that, if you disagree with me, awesome, cool with that. Go ahead, and if you happen to be in this industry and you happen to be an expert, love to debate you. So if you want to sign up for that, just send me an email at sean@jrtfit.com, and I'd love to figure out basically people who want to debate me on different topics.
Maybe
And
you
then
can prove them wrong.
We'll go deep into the science instead of just having a discussion like we're doing now, which
Right.
should be very fun for me.
That wouldn't be so fun for me.
No, you don't have
Now,
to be a
ask
part
me
of it.
about fly fishing.
Enough about
Okay.
fly fishing, man.
No.
Telling you, we got to work on that with you.
We'll work on it.
Get other things on your brain.
That's mental health.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. So I am going to ruin those machines that people sell that you put around the abdominal that contract your abs and make you lose body fat. That's what their claim is.
Really?
Have you seen those before?
I've actually tried one on. It was quite humorous.
Yeah? Did it make you laugh?
Truthfully, it felt good. But more than that, no. And I was just humoring her, and she was a pretty girl. And I went, "Oh, that feels good. Do that again."
So someone you knew had purchased this? And,
Yes.
Okay.
She was like, "Oh,
And
try this. Well,
Why'd you want you to try it? Just for fun? See if it worked?
yeah. She said it worked for her. I went, "Great."
It worked for her how?
Beats the hell out of me. I have no idea. But she said it felt good, and I have to agree. It did feel kind of nice a little bit.
I could see that feeling good.
But more than that,
But let's talk about what it does. Let's talk about if it works or not, and what we're defining it working as. So is it working to lose body fat? Because that's what they're sold as, right?
yeah, that's what you see them
It's as seen on
promoting.
TV. I'm gonna lose 30 pounds while sitting and watching football. That's kind of the idea of it. Or
If that was the case, we'd all be sitting there.
well, maybe just those of us skeptics don't want to try it, and we.
If you could do that, I would sit there.
If
it did
if there was a
that,
magic bullet
and it
like
was
that,
proved,
right? You would buy it. You'd use
I'd get
it
a
constantly.
remote and
Yeah.
a bigger TV.
And I don't blame anyone. I would say if it did work, that's a fantastic way to do it.
Right.
But let's talk about what it's doing. And actually, let's back up a little bit. Let's back up and talk a little bit about muscles and what's happening with all this, because it actually
Muscles?
pertains to how muscles contract.
Okay.
Okay, so, but I like to back it up a couple hundred years. And what they
Okay.
used to think over 200 years ago, how do you think that they used to think that muscles contracted?
Beats the heck out of me.
You have no idea? It's fun, okay? So they actually thought that air, oxygen, went through your nerves. Yes, I said that correctly. Oxygen through the nerves.
Okay.
And when you make a muscle, you fill it up with air.
Okay.
Does that seem logical?
No.
Oh, Why not?
Well, it's a little where, I mean, obviously we understand more now, but
We do understand more now. Actually, in the early 1800s, there was a guy, and I'll have to think of what his name was. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but he actually figured out that the nerves conduct electricity based on the wagon wheel. So the wagon wheel created a certain frequency, and when he changed the speed of the wagon wheel, it changed the frequency, and he matched the frequency that he heard when he plugged his ears to that, and then figured out that's electric. It's not oxygen. So that's actually where they figured that out. And then they said, oh my gosh, we can make these electrodes and we can start zapping people. And then the electrodes zapping on the outside of the cadavers. That's what I mean by zapping people.
right, and
the dead people. Yeah, and it would contract the muscles. And we said, oh my gosh, that's what the nerves are doing. They're actually contracting. They're shocking, so to speak, the actual muscles. And that's what makes them contract. And is that logical?
That sounds more logical than...
And that's actually what the science behind these machines is based on, is that you're putting that electrical energy, just like the electrodes on the cadavers, in order to contract the muscles. Because that's what we've observed in the labs.
But so if you contract your muscles and you're working out...
Now that's different.
Okay.
That's a lot different. So if I tell a muscle to contract, I send a nerve signal, which sends something called acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah. It goes past something called the neural synapse, which is the nerve ending, basically.
Okay.
And it stimulates the motor unit, which makes calcium actually release in something called the sarcomere. I'm sure that makes a lot of sense now.
Absolutely. I read up on that just this morning.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just regular,
Right.
What you learn just, in whatever situation, right? So I guess I can explain that a little bit better and try and put it in more simplistic terms. But the sarcomere is essentially the smallest kind of microscopic level of proteins. Okay. And you have these little proteins called actin and myosin filaments. And those are the things that interlap, which I talked a little bit about in another podcast talking about something else. But they overlap, and when this calcium comes on, it actually attaches to something called troponin, because the troponin is negatively charged, calcium is positively charged, so it attracts to that. And that helps the actual actin rotate. And that rotation of the actin allows something on the myosin called the myosin head to actually attach to that actin and pull it across. I can show you a chart. Would that be easier?
That would be, pictures work good. Pictures always,
so
in this case it would be.
I may actually post some sort of chart up for the YouTube crowd on here.
Good.
And otherwise you can kind of look at what I'm talking about here. But basically, long and short, it's because of that calcium connecting to that troponin, shifting, making it so that myosin head can pull it across. It has nothing to do with the actual electricity in there. There's no electrical shock inside our body that makes the muscles contract from the inside. It's a completely mechanical process.
External
what?
A shock you would have to have.
Yeah, you'd have to have an external shock. So with the inside stuff, we use our own energy. We use the ATP, the adenosine triphosphate, in order to create all the workings of that, where that's where we end up needing to use the energy from our fat cells, for example, in order to do exercise. Is we have to use it in order to create all these contractions and make it so that these contractions keep happening, and that takes more energy. And so we use our energy, which gets rid of the fat, in order to do that. And there's a lot more to it than that. I'm kind of simplifying it.
I've been conserving my energy.
Yeah.
I think I am pretty good for the next...
You ready for a famine?
I am for the next 300 years.
Oh,
good
fantastic.
Lord.
That's right. You're going to live forever. He told me that.
Yep.
So
so far,
that's
so
great.
good.
You're winning so far, so that's great.
Right, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
But I mean, if there is a famine, I'm good.
But yeah, that's one of the reasons we're storing all that, is so that we can, in case of a famine, we actually are fine. It's just that our food is so incredibly easily accessible now that you can go practically anywhere and get way too much food.
Well, yeah,
truly. So it makes, we don't have to work for it. We don't have to use any energy getting it. We don't have to dig it up.
Right to your table.
Exactly. And all you have to do is give them green. So that makes it a lot easier. That makes it so we store more. But heading back to the muscles and the contractions and how that pertains to this machine is my point is that you have to use your internal energy to contract the muscles in order to actually make it so that the energy that's in your fat stores that you're wanting to get rid of are actually used.
Okay.
So with these machines, they're taking energy from the outside, so from the machine itself.
So they're not using the fat cells.
Exactly.
They're just giving you
the
reaction that
precisely
will be happening.
Are you contracting a muscle because of it? Yes. Is it a different contraction? Absolutely. Is it caused from our own energy? Not at all. You won't use any energy from doing that. You just use the external energy. You need energy of some sort, but you're using external energy from the machine, and you're bringing it into your body to create that movement.
So don't they have some sort of, when they show these on TV, charts that say, well, look, we have proof this works?
Have you seen these charts?
No, I haven't. That's why I'm asking. And when I see those kind of things on TV, typically that means bathroom or, out of here.
Yeah, we've been trained to not watch advertising in our society. But no, I think that a lot of products end up basically being created because of an appeal that people have towards a thought. And the thought is, I could sit there on the sofa and burn calories. It's not true, but they're selling that idea.
Yeah.
They're selling it so that you believe that you can do it, therefore you'll lose weight
they're trying to sell you the fountain of youth.
Yeah, it's a magic bullet.
I'm looking for the fountain of middle age. I mean, I'm okay. And they all want to sell you, roses.
Exactly.
All they got is daisies.
Absolutely.
Daisies are nice, but I want to see some proof before I shell out.
Now, that doesn't mean that they
payments.
don't have what they would consider proof. I put air quotes there on proof because it's not actual evidence. Once again, you can fudge a lot of numbers. You can say a lot of things. If you do a study, if you want a specific outcome, you can create a study that will give you that outcome that you're looking for.
Anybody can.
And that doesn't mean that it's actually going to be good. And that's the whole reason why you have to get independent, and you have to look at if there's any sort of bias and everything else. So if this manufacturer themselves actually do studies, then we have to be careful looking at what data that they may have on purpose taken out of it.
Manipulated in a certain way.
Exactly.
True.
So, and I haven't looked at any of those. It'd be very interesting to look at. But I'm just telling you how it works based on the science of what I'm aware of with what happens. Now, you also have you gone to a chiropractor before and gotten hooked up to one of their muscle stem units, for example?
A long time ago. I did, now that you mention it.
And they use those sometimes in physical therapy as well. And so I'm not saying that there isn't a benefit of zapping your muscles externally. I'm saying it's not going to give you any sort of fat loss benefit. Now, What are the benefits of doing it? Okay, you have some benefits of, number one, they claim blood flow. They claim that it helps with blood flow, which it may.
But doesn't hot water do the same thing?
I was going to say, they usually add heat packs and things like that at the same time, which that combination may be great, but the heat itself will also induce blood flow.
I mean, a hot shower, a hot tub.
We've talked about these things previously. And the other thing that it does is it actually releases endorphins, so it can make you feel better. So it can actually block some pain, so to speak. And endorphin is about 1,000 times more powerful than morphine. So it doesn't last as long, doesn't have any negative side effects. So if you can create them in your own body, that's fantastic.
Yeah, right.
And so that can be a positive thing. And the other positive thing that we've observed is that they actually can help prevent atrophy. So in a physical therapy setting, for example, someone has surgery and then they can't walk right away, or they're casted up or whatever the case is, they found that when you actually apply one of those to the muscles, it doesn't atrophy. It doesn't build the muscle. It won't ever build it, but it moves it. It makes it work so that you can't at least lose it as quickly.
And now that you mentioned that is, because I was in a real nasty car wreck, and I was limping. It was legitimately
Sure.
where I could not move. certain
Absolutely.
ways. And they applied it down here
Yep.
because my back was a complete wreck.
And the spinal
And-
erectors.
Yeah. And it was, is that what they call it? Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Well,
they
yeah.
put it on and they moved it around. And
It's a
I-
generic name.
Okay. Then they just kept it on me. And I was there 3 days a week. And they put it on my back for about a half an hour. And it truly felt better. It did feel numb afterwards,
Yeah.
but I could
Felt
move.
numb after you did that. That's interesting.
I could move though.
Well, that's good.
And
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this is great.
Right.
And without taking pills, because I'm a big person on none of these drugs.
Yeah.
I do not believe in the drug companies. Don't trust them. I don't. They'll sell you anything just so they can make a profit on you, regardless of your health.
And that's Dan's opinion, and
That
you
is
he
my
can have that
opinion.
opinion. And I'm okay with certain drugs, and I think that certain drugs are required
Some-
and needed. And I think,
True, but
there are a lot of things that any business does right, and you can have businesses that do the right thing and the wrong thing, and it's just a matter of their own whoever owns them and their
Yep.
guidelines, everything else. So
Yep.
it just kind of depends on all that. But
I'm not a big drug fan.
he's not a big drug.
I don't
person.
like it when they call me and they go,
So he
"We're
likes
gonna give you-"
the electrical stem.
I do. Truthfully, it feels good, but
So
it sounds
I
great.
think you'd be better off getting an electrical stem device that's good. Like I guess they sell some really cheap ones that'll zap you really too hard and that don't
well,
have
they
a
have
very
an
good
adjuster on them.
adjustable.
Yep.
They have adjusters, but the cheap ones adjusters don't work very well. So it's either like very mild or that's too much.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've heard. But you can get ones that work better, and I think that that's going to be more beneficial than buying that ab belt that tells you that you can actually lose body fat. I think that it's obviously not true. That's completely anti-science, and it doesn't actually make any sense as far as how that happens because you're not moving. You have to move in order to create energy. So
Yeah, it doesn't make
there's no
logical
magic bullet.
sense.
There's no way to get out of it.
I
You
agree.
have to move.
Yep, I agree completely.
So yeah, so that was a good talk about that. I need to stop using so many air quotes. I think I did that far too much today.
You did a few times, yeah.
I started with it and I felt good the first time, but after that, I don't know. It felt like
We'll
it was
do it
just,
again. I'll smack you.
Well, thank you.
It's all good. Oh, watch it. I got a free hand right here. Come around.
Whoa, you're not going to do
See
backside,
the
are
old
you?
dad backhand. You know?
Oh. You call yourself my dad? Is that what
No,
you
it's
said?
it's the dad move.
Dad move.
It's the dad move. You bring it back over the back of their head. You knock their
Yeah,
hair over
yeah.
the front of their eyes. It's a bit short, but yeah. My dad was disciplinarian. He'd smack you in the head. What did I tell you? Listen to me.
Yeah, that you get in trouble for that nowadays.
Don't let them see you.
I don't know about in Colorado, actually. I don't know if that's illegal here.
Oh, I love beating my kids.
Yeah, there
That's
you
great
go.
time.
Yeah, you do it all the time.
Absolutely.
And this is once again his opinion.
It is. I enjoy it thoroughly. I waited years. I got beat. They get beat. They can beat their kids. I enjoy beating the Jesus out of them. Now they're good. They can run. So
But from you.
From
They
me.
run
Oh,
you,
yeah.
But
But I
like,
just-
oh my gosh, there's Dad. Get out of
I
here.
plant myself where I know they'll come back, like the fridge or the bathroom, their bed, and I, pounce when they show up. I beat them again, like I'm at a bus stop somewhere.
Wow, I'm
It's
so
great
glad
fun.
I'm not your kid. That's fantastic.
You know.
We can leave here amicable.
We can. Yeah.
I mean,
I
could.
personally, you good to wear a ring, smack them.
all right. So that
And
was
you folks can come over and beat my kids too. If you really need to practice, I'll hold them. You hit them.
all
Well,
right.
I'll give you the police phone number later.
I think they've already called it. I think you're done.
I'm done.
Up here they are. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. I know that was a quick one, but I just wanted to ruin that kind of whole idea of those losing body fat machines. Those don't work. That's just ridiculous. You have to do it the old-fashioned way. You have to go out. You don't have to do it the old-fashioned way. Old-fashioned way is old school, and don't follow those ideas. Follow science. Do it right. I'll help you
Move.
learn what that is and what not to do at the same time as we keep going.
Yep.
So, all right.
All right.
Have a great day and
See ya.
keep a healthy life.